Hello student, my name is Altaf Hussain. I'm lecturer English. Presently I'm working at higher secondary school Langarse. So I'm glad that I'm here with you today to discuss very important concept of English language, that is reading comprehension, and commonly we call it RC. So the first question we come into our mind is that why reading comprehension, why we discuss it. So I think I have two objectives in my mind. One is that in your syllabus or in your syllabus we have great weightage for reading comprehension. I think for class 10 you have 20 marks for this. In your paper you will see 2 passages on reading comprehension, 10 marks each. And in class 12 I think we have 2 passages, one comprises of 12 marks and another 10 marks. And in the long run it has a great benefit if you have orientation on reading comprehension. You might find in the competitive exams in C2 papers, I will show you one paper here which is reflected in SSC on reading comprehension. So you have to read the passage and answer accordingly. So likewise, here is an example of a comprehensive or passage given in CUT paper. So we get to know that our reading comprehension is very important. So you must know the nuances of reading comprehension. So today we are going to try to see what components, what things we need to learn in this very part of the reading comprehension. So literally reading comprehension is the ability to understand and interpret and respond to a written text. You might have read a lot of stuffs like magazines, newspaper, periodicals, even you might have confronted with a lot of reading materials in your syllabus, in your textbooks. So what is reading comprehension? You can see that in reading comprehension we have 2 words here. One is reading and the second part is comprehension. Reading is what? To read a content, read a text. But the second part is very important, that is to comprehend, to grasp what has written in that text. For example, if somebody has written a book, he might have put his thoughts, his experiences. So we try to comprehend it, what the message is in the passage, or what kind of theme the passage try to convey. So if you grasp what has written, this called comprehension. So it means not just reading the words, but also grasping the meaning, connecting ideas and drawing conclusion from it. So in simple words, I can say what is reading comprehension, what the readers do. The first thing is, in the reading comprehension, the reader reads the text correctly. So this is important. He must read the text correctly. And secondly, understand the words and the sentence, what that means. And third point is that things about the ideas and the authors want to express. For example, I give you an example that somebody has written a book. So what message he wants to convey? What are his thoughts? And what are your opinion on their thoughts? So this part is very important. So you things about the ideas the author wants to express. This is the main crux of the reading comprehension. And then applies that understanding by answering the question and summarizing or relating to the real life. So if you comprehend the content, that has an impact on you. So you can relate what the writer has written with your life. So that part is called comprehension. If you can't relate the content with your life, that means you haven't comprehended. You have just read. For example, most of the time when we ask our student to read something, they just read, and when they ask what you read, they can't answer. They can't give a satisfactory reply. So that means he didn't understand the content. So next, I will give an example here. We will read a passage titled The Lost Puppy. The story goes like this. One cold morning, Ali was walking to school when he heard a soft crying sound near the bushes. He looked around and found a small puppy, wet and shivering. Ali felt sorry for it. He took off his scarf and wrapped the puppy to keep him warm. Ali carried the puppy into school. His friends gathered him. "Let's find its owner," said other students. After school, they went door to door asking if anyone had lost a puppy. Finally, an old woman opened her gate and cried, "Oh, my dear puppy, I have been looking for you all morning." She thanked Ali and his friends and gave them warm bread and tea. Ali smiled all the way home, feeling happy that he had done something kind. We have read this. Okay, let's see what happened when somebody comprehends the text. So here I'm taking one line as an example. When the student read this line, for example, when you read this line, Ali wrapped the puppy in a scarf to keep it warm. So see what happens. A student with good reading comprehension will first understand what happened. What happened in the story? Ali helped a puppy. So he understands what happened. The next one, understand why he did it. Why he wrapped the puppy in his scarf. He wrapped it to keep it warm. And lastly, feel or infer what kind of person Ali is. Then he will infer what kind of person Ali is. Kind and caring. He's compassionate. He's soft-hearted. So this, the reader reflects from reading that content. So in short, we can say what reading is. Reading comprehension means what we did. We read something, we think about that content, and we understand the message hidden in that passage. So if we can do that, we can say that we comprehend that topic. It's not just reading words, but making meaning out of it. Dear students, most of the time we confront students that they can't grasp the idea. So you need to read a lot of contents, like you make it your habit to read newspaper, you make your habit to read magazines, read books. Okay, so make your reading habit. Okay, it will open your horizon, it will acquaint you, it will get you to know wake-ups. Okay, so this is important. So here we see the elements of reading comprehension. Once again, we will focus things like what are the elements. We did decoding, means recognizing words and their meanings. Sometimes we confront with a word. In that very context, the meaning of the word will be different. So you need to know how to decode the word. Second thing, wake up. Knowing what keywords mean. So I give an example. For example, a particular word in a particular context can have different meanings. So you must know what that words mean in that very context. So this is the second important element of reading comprehension. that is wake up. Inference, this is very important, reading between the lines, finding the hidden meaning. In our previous passage, we saw an example. What kind of person Ali was? So the reader said that he was a kind person. So he inferred, because he helped that puppy. So this is very important part of reading comprehension, to know how to infer. And then the most important part of reading comprehension is you get to know the main idea. That means knowing what the passage is mainly about. So what is the purpose, or what are the message of that very content? So this is very important. If you get to the main idea, you will get to know the supplementary part of the passage. And then critical thinking. So this is important. If you have grasped the content, it will force you to judge and evaluate the text logically. So these are the key elements of reading comprehension. Dear students, due to lack of time, I think we will not discuss more. I will give you just 2 examples of reading comprehension passage, type of reading comprehension passage. So what happens mostly in our context, we confront with 2 types of reading comprehension passages. One is called factual or informative passages, and the second is discursive or argumentative. So I quickly just give a glimpse of what factual passage is. For example, purpose. What is the purpose of factual passages? To give information or facts about real things, people, events and processes. For example, if we talk about apricot, so we'll say apricot is an apple, is a fruit. It is nutritious, it has medicinal values, and you will give a lot of information about it. For example, is one of the favorite fruit of this popular fruit of district Kargil, mostly found in some areas like Hardas, Karkichu, Batalik, and you can also find apricots in less quantity in other parts. So this type of passage is called factual passage. Like I was giving information about a particular fruit, that was apricot. So what happens here? Based on truth, research or observation. Okay, so the message or the content of that very passage which I just read was to give you, tell you the truth. Okay, this research based or observation. We observe, yes, this is happening, this fruit is popular in this area. Like object tone, what is the tone of the factual passage? Is objective and neutral. And then example, for example, water cycle life of Mahatma Gandhi. So importance of forests. These are some examples. And what type of question we ask in factual passages? These are what, when, where, who and how. These kind of question will be asked. Facts and definition and explanation. For example, if we have a line example here, the Amazon rainforest produces 20% of world's oxygen. So the question can be, how much oxygen does Amazon rainforest produce? So this will be a direct answer because you know the fact. It is stated. Okay. So the next one which we would like to emphasize is discursive or argumentative passage. The next passage is argumentative. For example, is online class beneficial? If there might be a choice, which is better, online class or offline class? So we can argue on this type of passages. Like, so what is the purpose? Discuss both sides of an issue and help the reader think critically. Some will say this is beneficial, some will say this is beneficial. So there can be an opinion, there can be an argument on this very particular topic. Like gives argument for and against the topic, ending with conclusion. One can say that, yeah, at least both of them might be effective in a particular context. And then tone, balance, logical and reflective. If you are giving an argument, then there might be some logic behind it. Topics like, is technology a blessing or curse? Should school uniforms be compulsory? Online education versus classroom learning. So these can be a passage on argumentative or discursive. Questions: what are the arguments for and against? So this could be the, what is the writer's opinion? So even you can have your own opinion and you can ask that, you can say what the opinion of the writer is. So do you agree with the author's view? Why or why not? So here you will get an opportunity to put forth your own opinion. And then we have an example. While social media connects people, it also reduces face-to-face interaction. So the main drawback of offline and this mode is you don't get that opportunity to interact face-to-face. So this is one of the drawback of the social media. So what are the two sides of the argument about social media? So there are two sides, okay. Some people agree with this and some people doesn't agree. Some people think that this is beneficial, some people think that this is distracting or not beneficial. So with this, we will conclude the lecture here, hoping that you might have enjoyed this session and hope we will meet again. Thank you so much for bearing me. Allah Hafiz.